So we're starting to put our Nova back together now. I'm going to start with pulling my engine lift plate off. We're putting the valley cover back on, and I've already done a little bit of work. I put these wires to the back of the head, the ground wires on, and got my transmission dipstick tube mounted. Everything I could, and went ahead and plugged my oil pressure sensor in. Just cleaned up the wires. Tried to get everything, like here's my fuel line to the back of this fuel rail. It's kind of getting it, everything I can that's easy to do now and hard to do later done before I get this intake in the way. So we'll get at it. I had a guy ask me if I was running knock sensors, and I am not running knock sensors. Alright. Alright, so I got my steam vent kit here. Forgot where I got this. I think this was one of the cheap eBay ones or whatever. But it's working great so far. No problems with it. Going now. Moment of truth right here. This heavy, awkward thing. Just gonna check all my studs. Make sure, see that one's about to back out. You want all these at least snug. They're, backed out when I guess took the nuts off. That one's about to fall all the way out. It's just little things like this, y'all, you gotta be aware of whenever you pull one apart with studs. Sometimes it'll back the stud out instead of taking the nut off. And then you go to tighten it up and it'll be, one thread in there and it'll pull it out of there. You'll be mad. So I'm just avoiding that, making sure they're run all the way down in the heads. All right. I'm gonna try to do this without setting it down on the O-rings. One shot. Alright, got something sitting on my fuel line here. Get it up above my sensor there. It's pretty tight back behind this thing. So there it is, y'all. Got our intake back on. That went pretty smooth too. I didn't even set it down funny on the studs. I worry about that when I set it down. Them studs running up in my O-ring, messing it up, but all right, got that torqued down. Okay, y'all, so my map sensor just showed up and my adapter plug here. This is a Holley 5-bar map sensor, and here's the part number for that. And this is the adapter part number. Just wanted to show y'all this. In case you wanted to run this setup, I'm running the Holley terminator for the LS2, the 58X. So the little adapter plugs into that, and then this end plugs into your terminator map sensor plug, and there it is. So I'm gonna remote mount this probably right here to my vacuum block. So I'll take out one of these, and that looks pretty good right there. I'll just plug that in, and that'll be my map sensor. So, because the other one is way down here on the intake, it's the LS9 or 2.5 bar GM sensor, plugs into the intake. I'm just gonna leave it in there for a plug basically, and put this right here. I think this runs fuel, TPS, IAC, manifold air temperature. That's what I'm looking for. So this goes, you had it right here. And this has got this crazy plug. Sort of aggravating. Okay. Locks on there, and then it's got that little safety catch lock there too. So if I didn't go ahead and do that, this thing is a booger to get to. I hadn't said that already. I think I said it like 5 times. So here we go. Now we can go ahead and stick our fuel rails in here. What I'm gonna do is take a Q-tip and just clean out those bores. This thing's been sitting on the floor. I'm just taking my time with this. Be sure all your O-rings are started in the, make sure they're not gonna be pinching going in there. There we go. All started. Let's go and bump them in there. All right. And I'm running one of the Motion Raceworks filters, the 10 micron splitter filter. And what I'm doing is I'm wiring it. I got the dual outlet filter. I'm doing dual 10AN, one 10AN into it, and then dual 10ANs to the back of the fuel rails, and then I'm running out the front into a fuel pressure regulator. I'm not doing a circle, so they're all getting even fuel. So I made this setup when I first built the car. It's an Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator here, and it actually goes like that, and it's been working pretty good. Had to bend this fitting a little bit, so it just bolts under here. I'm running a low ram bottom through a Tick Performance 1700 horsepower intercooler, and I think it's about the same height as a high ram without the intercooler. Just leave everything loose until you get everything started, and then go back and tighten everything up. There we go. Now I can tighten my bracket up. Just that little bit of extra wiggle room helps out a ton. Now we got our return line here. Goes back to the tank. I taped all these up good so they didn't get trash in them, because I was cutting and grinding all over this thing whenever it was apart. So let's goes down here to the bottom of my regulator. This returns back to the fuel cell. There we go. What I'm doing is I'm going on the back side of this fuel rail with my wires, trying to like get the cleanest look I can. Right there. This goes like that, and then it wraps around back to there. I like to leave it a little slack. You hear that gas pedal in there? I don't want it tight where it's holding the throttle blade open. I like for it to be able to close and do its thing. So. Figure out how I had this. Like that, okay. Gotta tuck all this stuff in here. Get it all pushed up out of the way. Just hooking up all the sensors here. Some TPS.
What a TPS?
Alright. Throttle position sensor.
Mm.
And let's see, what is this one? Cam sensor. So that. For some reason, this one ain't get in there right. There we go. Yeah, okay. That's good and tight. I went back to first. So, first is good. Okay, I've about got these weather packs figured out now, I think. So I put the little rubber piece on, and then I bent these tabs out a little further so that they grab better. So I'm just gonna put one together real quick and kind of show you how I do it. There, let me push it in there with something. There we go. So you push it in there and it should lock in like that. Push this one in there. It's locked in. And you just fold that back over there and it's all made up there. Okay, so now I gotta make a female for this to plug into right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright y'all, I got all my weather packs made and put on, and it's kind of a jumbled up mess, but at least now if I ever wanna, take something loose, all I gotta do is unhook it, and instead of having to cut wires and recrimp and all. So that's that. We got our dump valve, trans brake, and our fan all weather packed together. So yeah, now on to the next step. Here we go. Air in. This is your bleed off. So this is your plus, and then once your car reaches your target boost and it starts building too much, this one activates and it dumps some of it off right here. So that's how that works. And I need to plug in my crank position sensor before I get the starter in the way. So I'm just gonna bring that around and plug it in. Just like that. And now we're ready to go on with the starter. And I got my starter spaced, or my flex plate spaced out. I got it spaced out for my mid plate, and so far the starter's been working pretty good. I had no problems with it, you know, engaging or whatever. Just a little snug on it is all it needs. There we go. It's good enough. I got my battery unhooked, so I'm not throwing sparks everywhere right now. There we go. All right. Yeah. Right here I got I had a heat exchanger in the front bumper for my air water intercooler, and now I'm deleting it. So I got my line from the tank running in to here. Now I just need that line down there to come into here so it returns back to the tank. So that's what I'm gonna work on now. I have this thing tucked in here pretty good. That's probably gonna leak water everywhere. Alright, this water. Well, and it breathes. See, I'm thinking about going back up behind there with like I did the other one, run them side by side. Put it right here on this, where it butts up tight right there. Right there. Yeah, that'll mold in there good. Alright, go ahead and cut it. Sprayed a little WD-40 on my barbs there. And I'm just gonna push it up in there. Oh, that wasn't too bad. That WD-40 made it slide right in there. And then just put my clamp on. Pinch that with some pliers. we can go ahead and install it. You know, it's funny how like you want to do all kind of stuff, at least I do, and then you know I don't really have enough reason to do it, so I just deal with it. But when I got it all torn apart, I go ahead and do everything I can. Like I've changed everything pretty much. Tighten some of them down. I'm just kind of temping my turbo up here. I'm gonna do the other side too. I've actually got to line up my stuff with my fingers here, so it could be tilted up or down a little bit, but I can do that right here. So go ahead and get my drain ran back here. So I'm using these locating V-bands with a male and a female flange, so it locks in, it's not floating around. So they're pretty nice. Now, I know these turbos, they had like an 1/8 of an inch off of my bar, so it's kind of roughly getting it where it needs to be. Pretty close there. Pretty close. All right. Dang, that thing looks mean, don't it? Check it out. Thing looks mean. It would be cool to run it like that. Just want to cross thread. So the last thing we need today is for something to try and cross thread. Ain't got time for that. There we go. Same with this side. Tighten it on up. There we go. Just check everything over good. Let me just double check that, make sure. Yeah, it's all good. I'm gonna look under it real good once I get everything put together and when the car's running. I wanna verify, check for leaks and stuff, so. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fill my transmission up. So I got 5 quarts of type F here. LSTP type F. I run Rotella 1540 diesel oil. A wideband O2 sensor. I'm running it about 6 inches out the turbo here. It's been working really good right there. Snug it up. There we go. I've changed the map sensor, so I've got to go in and you know, change the tune for that, and then I'll come back out here and fire it up. All right, so what I'm doing now, I changed the tune in my sensors here. I put in the Holly 5 bar, and I didn't auto scale it, so it still has my same tune all the way up to 25 pounds or whatever, and I just changed this top number to 60.9 psi, which is high as the I just typed in 70 and it auto goes down to 60.9, which is high as a 5 bar map sensor will go. So I got to go back and kind of build those, fill that in, build it up to from 25 to 60, but my tune will be the same all the way up to 25 pounds of boost, and I haven't got there yet, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just changing the scale or the sensor type. So now I got to go to USB link and see it says my sensor failed, spark inputs and outputs failed, boost. I changed my boost too, so what I'm going to do now is send it to the ECU. Alright, so that just sent everything over to the ECU. I'm going to take it offline here, cut my ignition off, give it a couple seconds, and then I'll double check it by I'll get, turn it back on, and I'll link it back up, and everything should match up now. So USB link, yep, see, everything says passed, so that means the tune right here is what's in the car now. So I'll take it back offline. Let's go ahead and close this out, and okay, so here we go. Got my fuel pump on and fired up.